Again, this is a really special announcement today. I have the opportunity today to introduce to you, hopefully, and I'm going to pray hard on this myself, our next mayor of the city of New Britain, and it's Representative Tim O'Brien.
Thank you all very much for coming out here, and Bobby's right, it is a Saturday afternoon and there's still snow on the ground, so we're very early in the political season this year. I appreciate you all being here very much as we start the important work that we have with this year's elections. As we start with this year's elections, I want to harken back to 2 years ago when I took the stage on election night and it was clear that things had not gone our way. I said then that we should be proud of what we had accomplished, that we had moved our city forward in important ways, that we had talked about issues that needed to be talked about, that we had talked about what is right for the future of our city, the practical things that we can do to make a big difference. And we did make a big difference. By the way, if there's any doubt right now, I'll let you know a little secret. One of the things we campaigned on 2 years ago was getting inter-district magnet schools to the city of New Britain. It's something that has been going on for a long time. We have had time after time when we have had the opportunity to get magnet schools and we have not gotten them. And right now there's a process underway, initiated by our former state senator DeFranzo, where we can get a new inter-district magnet school for our city, providing new opportunities for our city's kids. That's an important thing. There's broad-based support, all around bipartisan support for getting this done. The fact that that is true is because of everything that all of you and so many other people did in that election, talking about what's right, talking about what's important. And that's what I want to talk about now, because I would not want to run for public office just to hold the public office. I don't do it for my own ego, I don't do it for self-esteem. I do it because there's meaningful things that need to get done. Now, it doesn't matter so much who the name is on the plaque outside the mayor's office. In fact, I want to have a Democratic mayor, but having a Democratic mayor per se is not the point. It's about having a Democratic mayor who stands up for what's right for our city. Now, there are so many important things that still need to be addressed. We need to fight for good quality education for New Britain's kids. We need to send the message that people who live in neighborhoods matter more than slumlords who abuse neighborhoods. That we are investing in our city and our city's people to create jobs for people in our community, and making sure that all the people of our city, no matter who they are respected, that all the points of view, all the concerns that people have are respected, that we're not going to simply say, well, your opinion doesn't matter because you're not part of the machine. We have to change that. Now, I know that you believe in having a good future for our city. I know that you believe in having a bright tomorrow, where we can have new jobs, where we can plan for the future, where we can have a good quality education for our city's kids. And the kind of leadership that will provide is the kind of leadership that I would want to have as the leader of our city's party. It's the kind of leadership that I would want to have as the leader of our city, and that's why this year I'm going to run for mayor of New Britain. This is just the beginning, and I thank you all for being the ones who are in the room when this got started. Because we have to start talking about what we're going to do, not just the issues. The issues are important, but the mechanisms for actually getting things done. And you see on the sign-up sheet, I actually had a checkbox for committees to be able to get involved and make a difference in this campaign. Now, we're going to be talking over the next few weeks as we pull together a strong campaign for this year's elections the role that each and every one of you can play in making that campaign a successful thing. From going out there and knocking on doors, making phone calls, the fundraising that needs to happen, and making sure that we have a strong organization for the future. There's so many important things that we can do to have a bright tomorrow. Magnet schools are one of the things, but we need to make sure that our party is standing up for a strong quality education for our city's kids. We need to make sure that we have good plans, that we are creating jobs today by rehabbing neighborhoods. It's the flip side of cracking down on slumlords, making sure that we're building up the quality of life in neighborhoods that creates jobs for people today. Practical, real solutions. These are the kinds of things that we need to do to move our city forward. Now, 3 years ago, our country elected a new president on a platform of hope and change and believing in ourselves and believing in tomorrow. And we all saw it as that hope and that inspiration ran right into the worst economic recession we've ever seen since the Great Depression. Some people in the room remember the Great Depression, but for most of us, it's not even in our lifetime that it's gotten this bad. And unlike, past times, when in the Depression, at least we knew the factories were still there, they just weren't working. Now we have real problems because outsourcing to low-wage countries, because the jobs that used to be the lifeblood of places like New Britain are not here anymore. And the fact that all the factories in places like New Britain went away is the big part of the reason that we have economic troubles today. Now, the people out there get this. They see it. They understand it. They believe it. They just don't believe that they can do anything about it. And the Republicans and the pundits are very happy to make them believe that there's nothing they can do about it. That instead of actually addressing the real problems, instead of coming up with real solutions, they should point fingers at each other. Point fingers at other average, everyday people to blame them, whatever it is. You know what? That's what the fight in Wisconsin is going on right now. It's a fight about whether or not we are going to, as average, everyday people, blame other average, everyday people for the problems that Wall Street bring down on us. Now, here locally, it's the same thing. That's too often the story of New Britain, where the people of our great city have been told that you can't hope for anything better. You should just take the little things that you can get. Here's a little thing that we're going to give you here and there so that things are not quite as bad as they were before. But they are told, don't strive for more. Don't strive for real prosperity. Don't strive for real opportunity. Don't strive for neighborhoods where you as the neighbors matter more than the property owners. You need to, that right there is where we come in. We have to be out there once again, just like we were 2 years ago, inspiring hope for what can be different. And that's why today I want to start a process of discussing what we as a team are going to do together to be able to move our city forward. I'm running for mayor, and we're going to build a strong campaign. We're going to raise the money to win. We're going to knock on the doors to win. I'm going to knock on the doors to win. I'm going to make the phone calls to win. And I appreciate anything you can do to help. But we need to be talking about how we're going to lead our city into a new tomorrow. Thank you so much for being here today. Thank you so much for being a part of this movement for change. There's a lot of work ahead, and I'm looking forward to it. Thanks so much.